Hey there. Welcome, civilians. You've arrived at the home of civilized and thought-provoking commentary. Get ready for elevation, growth, and experience. I am the civilized woman.
Happy Sunday, civilians. I hope your week has been well. I think this was the first full week of January 2025. Y'all, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to kind of really adjust to the new year. And so I still kind of have 2024 hangover. There's definitely things I want to accomplish, and in particular as it pertains to content creating, and so just trying to get a jump on that. But yeah, happy Sunday. Hope y'all are doing good. Hope that you are going full speed ahead in this new year without anxiety, without trepidation, without fear, because God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And fear is not of God. So just go full force in courage, bravery, confidence, and be assured that you are prepared, you are equipped, and you are able. Amen. All right, we've gathered here because we are talking LAMH, Season 9, Episode 11. It don't make sense. And sense is SCENTS. This was a very destiny heavy episode for my liking, but somebody got to be the focus, and I guess this week it was her week. The overarching takeaway for me from this episode is Marsau is measurably better than Martell, according to Marsau. The luster for me regarding the Fletchers have completely worn off. They are as janky as they come, just like everybody else, in my opinion. And the third takeaway is character matters. Attention, love, and marriage, Huntsville castmates. Mel's issue with you all when it pertains to Martell is not because she's not over him, but your character when it comes to the part you played or may have played in his actions as it relates to his marriage. She can't trust you all because of that. Being around y'all, y'all knowing what Martell did or helping him do it, it's a character issue. It's just that plain and simple. You can't know that you're around snakes and feel comfortable being around snakes or getting close to the snakes. That's it. That's all. So the number of resurrections that Madani has had is beyond me. Like I mentioned, this was a Destiny-focused episode. What are we on, the 180th relaunch of Madani? In some kind of iteration of some sort. Before was the hair, and now is the body spray and the home spray and the candles or whatever else. If Destiny would focus on her character and stay away from mess, aka doing Martell's bidding, she may be more successful than what she is right now. And honestly, we saw Destiny's humanity in this episode when she was filming with her dad. Now, what I can't imagine dealing with an ailing parent. I've gone through that, and still being involved in foolishness like she is. Nevertheless, she was soft and she was loving towards her father. She admired him and appreciated him, and that was a likable moment for her, in my opinion. So without further ado, let's get into the meat and the bones of the episode. So we're picking up where we left off with, Kimmi goes to Mel's house. It's been a minute since, Kimmi has been over there. They've chopped it up or whatever. And so y'all know why Kimmi is there. She's there to spill some tea, because in her mind, Mel and them are real close with the Fletcher. So this whole thing about, Chris possibly playing a role in hooking up Martell and Trish, she got bone carriers going bone carry. So in order for her to do her job effectively as a bone carrier, she's going to carry said bones. So Kimmi is spilling the tea to Mel about Chris's role in hooking Martell and Trisha up. Mel sees Trisha as a red flag. She flat out lets it be known that she don't like her. And honestly, I completely understand where Mel is coming from. Character matters. It really does. And you're like Trisha's up in Mel's face or in her space, knowing that she was one of Mel's ex-husband's mistresses. So basically, they can't bring Ariane on the show because of Ariane is not digestible to the audience. So they bring somebody who's a little bit more palatable in, I guess, in Trish. And Mel is like, I don't, like, you're just a bunch of red flags. Because y'all know Trish can't answer nothing straight to save her life. So I think that's a fair assessment. So it has more to do with what Trish presented than Mel still being hung up on Martell, in my opinion. And Mel calls Chris out. Chris's track record as a cheater, so she wouldn't be surprised if he did play a role in hooking Martell and Trisha. So then we get to the ambush brunch, as I like to call it. Destiny and Tisha are at brunch. They're sitting there. Tisha, they eating, chopping it up or whatever. And, per Martell, Destiny shared that she and Tisha would be meeting, and he decided to pop up, just like he did with Mel. Y'all know Martell don't respect boundaries, and he's always looking to violate women's sovereignty as it concerns engaging with him. He wanted to do that. He don't care that her husband wasn't there. He don't care that she wasn't expecting it. He wanted to, quote-unquote, meet up, pop up, so that's exactly what he did. Martell's gonna Martell, always and forever. So Destiny had put out a statement, sometime last week, about her and Tisha being ambushed by Martell. And yet, when Tisha left, because Tisha dipped, Destiny's talking about being proud of Martell for trying to apologize to Tisha at the same time. Now, Destiny, were you ambushed, or are you proud of Martell? Like, which is it? Why are you proud of somebody that ambushed y'all? That's weird. So, Tisha walks out when Martell arrived, and she announces that she wouldn't engage with Martell without her husband. And I can respect that, especially knowing how unhinged Martell is. So the next scene they take us to is Tisha going to it looks like as soon as she left that brunch place, she went to Marsau to let him know what had happened. Tisha lets Marsau know that Martell popped up at the brunch, and she was not willing to engage with Martell without him being there. Marsau appreciates that because, Martell is unsafe, and he doesn't use that exact language, but that's basically the spirit of what he was saying. Now, no one on this cast, in my opinion, sees how harmful Martell is when it comes to Mel. Only when it comes to them, that's when they see how dangerous he is. So, again, because this is a Destiny-focused episode, they're at Destiny's little warehouse. That I don't even know if that legitimately is more of a small closet than even a warehouse space. That is just tiny. So they're in there talking about the relaunch, the millionth relaunch of Madani. Tisha says that she doesn't fault Destiny for Martell ambushing them. I mean, the way they are hanging on to this full friendship just for the sake of not liking Mel is crazy to me. How do you think that Martell even got the information as to where you all were, that you're not blaming Destiny for the fact that he ambushed y'all? Now, I will give that they're probably, if I'm not mistaken, they don't usually get to see the show like air till we see it, so they're not seeing the finished product. She may at this point have seen the finished product, seeing how Destiny has talked about how proud she is of Martell for trying to apologize to her, and maybe that may change her mind. But I don't see how she would just automatically come with that conclusion of not faulting Destiny outside of the fact of maintaining this faux friendship that they all have. And then, Kimmi brings up the fact that because Tisha wasn't at Mimosas with Melody either. And I'm like, the surprise of Tisha and Destiny, that Mel didn't invite Destiny to her event, is crazy to me. Like, no, she didn't invite you to the event, and you can tell that Destiny was definitely salty about not being invited to that event. But she don't fool with you, and then you're calling Sunny thirsty and Mel vengeful. What are you, Destiny? If Sunny is thirsty and Mel is vengeful, what are you? So basically, the only reason why Mel invited Sunny to her event is to spite you. That was low key what you was trying to say. Carry on. So Mel and Chris meet up. Now y'all know if Mel don't do, it's not gonna do nothing else. This is 2 times in this episode already that food was involved in her meetup, and in that regard, especially, Mel is me and I'm Mel. Like, food must be at the gathering. I don't care what we talking about. Some kind of food, some kind of snack, some kind of something needs to be in the midst. Okay. So they meet up, and Mel is checking up on what Kimmi told her about Chris's role in hooking up Trish and Martell, allegedly. So immediately, Chris throws, the Scotts under the bus, because y'all remember, I don't remember what season this was. It must have been season 1 or 2, earlier seasons, where Martell had basically told Mel that she needs to get used to, or talk, she talked to some of the older guys, and they schooled him on basically he needs to cheat with somebody who, has something to lose, sign an NDA and all of that. And so Chris is like, well, he must have got that from one of the Scotts. So right away, Chris throws the Scotts under the bus, which I guess is fair, because a couple of seasons back, Marsau tried to throw him under the bus when that whole his car got stolen in Atlanta thing happened. So I guess, all is fair in, BAN activity, I guess. Now, clearly, Martell did not take the advice of whatever older men told him to cheat with somebody who has something to lose and have them sign an NDA, because, child, Ariana ain't got a thing to lose, and she stayed yakking. So, true to Martell, obviously he didn't take that advice. Now, then they bring up the RSVP. Apparently, Mel has missed the period to be able to RSVP to Nell's and Chris's vow renewal. And so Mel is like, yeah, I wanted to see how this conversation was gonna, transpire before I RSVP. Chris thinks that's BS, that Mel was waiting for that to happen before RSVPing to their vow renewal. He feels like if she's over Martell, then it shouldn't matter. And I'm like, sir, this is not about Martell per se, but your character. She cares about the characters of the people around her. I said that before. It's poor character to say you're helping a couple mend their marriage while trying to set up the husband with someone else. Stop trying to gaslight that lady. Allegedly, this was all going on while they were still married. So y'all, the men meet up, and I swore that I wasn't going to do no more content unless it was absolutely necessary about Ken. And then he opened his mouth. He was itching for me to bring him up in my commentary. It would hurt him, he said, if it didn't work out with Trish because of the kids. Sir, what is wrong with you? This lady is still married for whatever reason to her ex-husband. Well, to her husband. And the main thing, like, why is that the main thing that's keeping you? Why are you that attached to them people's kids? I done told y'all, something ain't right with him. Something is not right with him, and I'm gonna keep saying it. And I'm getting off him now, because he done got way more than I wanted to give him in this commentary. Then you have, they're at the Badani event outside, nice area, whatever, and Marsau and Martell are talking, right? So Marsau, being Tisha's protector, it would be nice if he would protect her from himself sometimes. That would be great. And y'all, if I had something in my mouth, I would have spat it out when Martell called Marsau a narcissist. I was like, pot tea kettle much? And saying that he don't respect Tisha because he has her sitting there. I'm like, you know something about respecting women, Martell? Child. And then, of course, brings Mel. I'm like, keep Mel's name out y'all's drama. This lady ain't got nothing to do with it. He is so bothered, and he is very bitter that Tisha is still with Marsau while Mel dropped him. Now, Tisha may be slow, according to Martell, but she ain't wrong when she calls out the fact that you wish you were with a woman like her, because you absolutely wish that Mel was like Tisha in that regard, to stay with your cheating behind. For sure, to stay with your cheating behind. Now, before I forget, they did this whole back and forth thing, child, and then somewhere in there, the girls gathered together, and Sonny comes up. Nell mentions, oh, Kimmi lets me know that you felt a way about, you questioned that I wanted everybody at my bachelorette party, and she's like, oh, I understand, what I don't agree with what Sonny did. That wasn't right, but I got to see her for myself, and I just feel like you're trying to tell me who to be friends with. And Destiny had the nerve to mention something about, I guess everybody's loyalty is not set up like hers. I'm like, girl, the only people you are loyal to is yourself and Martell. You're not loyal to nobody. And I don't know. Okay, Sonny and Moses are married. I wish y'all would quit talking about this whole Sonny, Moses, Destiny thing as if Sonny stole Destiny's husband. That was her jump off, her side dude. They were each other's sides, and he moved on and got married. End of story as far as I'm concerned. So then we get back to Marsau and Martell, right? So at this point, Tisha is dismissed. As she walks off, Martell talks about how Marsau makes her look so pathetic. Marsau lets Martell know that he is better than him in every miserable way. Now, there's a moment that I think Marsau was playing a very dangerous game, because at the moment they stood at some point, he put his hand on Martell's shoulder, on Martell's left shoulder. He puts his right hand on Martell's left shoulder, and I thought it was going to be cold red. That was patronizing to me, and it could have potentially set Martell off, and it could have gotten physical. That was a dangerous ploy, in my opinion. I think Marsau knows Martell well enough to know that could have potentially been something to set Martell off to go completely ham. And to Martell's credit, he was smart enough to walk away from that. Now, he probably was smart enough to walk away from that because that was his, friend girl or whoever Destiny is to him event, and he didn't want to cause a scene. Maybe he thought about his situation and didn't want to make it worse. Also, he can't afford to lose that job. So the scene ends and the episode ends with Martell walking off. Now, per usual, they do a preview of the next episode, and I'm like, why are we still talking about Trisha and Martell? And then they show a scene of what it looks like to be Trisha apparently confronting Mel. And you could see the look on those women's face. It is so crazy to me how happy and elated they get when it looks like somebody is quote unquote checking Mel. That, all of them, like the smile, the smirks, the everything. I'm like, y'all do all of this, and then in the background, you're itching to be in this lady's circle. So this was episode 11. I don't really have much to say about it. And as we know that with this show, there's always something going on. I'm sure that something else will come up, and maybe I'll feel the need to expound on it. Maybe I won't feel the need. But either way, y'all have a happy Sunday. You will be getting more commentary from me this week, and it will be non-love and marriage content. There's so much going on that I would like to express my opinion about, and would like to get your opinion about it as well. So stay tuned. Until next time.
Please like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.